Hey, Jody here with weldingtipsandtricks.com. Today we're stick welding with 7014 rods on a multi-pass T-joint. Let's do it. I went over this little pinky thumb collapse technique in a prior video using this same rod along with some 6013s, but I'm going to show it again here. This is kind of a way that I prop a lot, and it helps me just kind of relax and stay steady and keep my head out of the smoke and everything like that. The amperage range for a 1/8 7014 is depending on who you consult. Some of the charts I've seen were 100 to 150. Some of them said 130 to 150, but I ran it as low as 100 and 110, messing around on some practice joints here. And it ran without sticking at 110. It just restarts for a little bit tough. And I'll show you that right here. Right there, you see all that swirling slag floating around. You wonder if you left a wormhole or pocket or pinhole or something like that. That time I didn't. I'll show you in a minute. But at 125 amps, restarts were much crisper. And it's not too hot at all. It's just that the slag was a lot tougher to get off. This is 1/4 inch thick material, 6 millimeters thick roughly. And so I'd say the amperage range all the way from 110 up to 130, 135 is pretty good for this particular metal. You could go a lot hotter. There's the restart at 110 amp setting, so it wasn't too bad. All right, for the second pass, I like to point the rod downward a little bit, down to that bottom toe of the weld, and just kind of center up on the toe of the weld, maybe just a little higher than that so that the bead stacks a little bit higher than halfway so that you don't have a valley. And so that one ran pretty good. Finally got a little somewhat of a peeler there. That did not happen on every pass, by the way. I'm using a little cordless Walter grinder here with a wire cup brush on it just to knock slag off really quickly. Now for the second pass and the top pass on every layer, I'll point the rod more in like this to avoid undercut. Get too much of a downward angle on that last pass, it's easy to get undercut. That's the reason for the change in rod angle there for me. Okay, so I didn't run that one all the way out because I'm going to stack these in here so that you can see how they were laid in. We're going to do a total of 6 beads. I got confused on my directions here, so this is a sample piece, a scrap piece just for arc shots, and I'm going in the opposite direction, but you get the drift. I'm trying to line up here again a little bit over halfway over that bottom toe of the bottom weld. And that should let me stack beads in there going forward to where there are no real low places, no valleys, and that's the goal. You want it kind of a straight, smooth line, all the beads kind of blended together, no real ridges or valleys. So now I'm going to try to stack this bead just about exactly halfway over top of that previous bead. When you lose your way here a little bit, you kind of are looking at several things. You're looking at the toe of the weld, you're looking at other edges of other beads, and pretty quickly you can get things to kind of line up on and just kind of keep tracking. At least that's what I have to do. I lose my way sometimes. It's like, where is the edge of that bead now, especially with all the fume and smoke floating around. So I find other little hash marks to kind of guide me along. Now the last bead, again, we're going to point that thing more toward the top member. And I'm not in any hurry on this last bead. For some reason, that last bead usually goes a little bit slower. I think there's a little bit more to fill in. And plus, you don't want undercut. So going slow enough to fill in any undercut is a good idea. Don't go too slow, but I'm just saying it goes a little slower than the rest of them, it seems to me. So that's a total of 6 beads, 1, then 2, then 3, stacked over each other. And we're going to cut them now. A little quick cut and etch, see how we did. And we'll also get a little view of the profile there and see if there are any ridges and valleys on the face of that weld. And so it's not too bad. Punched in there in the root pretty good. I'll draw some imaginary lines here with my editing program. You can see that it penetrated, and the face of the weld does not have too many ridges or valleys in it. All right, well that does it for today. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time. Hey, just a reminder, I support these videos with sales from my online store at weldmonger.com. I would appreciate it if you would visit there and take a look around.